All right, folks. Good morning. Good morning. This is Eric. It is January 24th, 2024. And again, today I'm a little bit busy, so I may not have the time to devote to do anything different or new with coding today, but I already did. I did it this morning. So I am... What's NQ doing? NQ is moving on up. Today... I just made a quick script to look at the swing highs and swing lows, and if we have a swing high that follows a swing low, immediately follows it, and it gapped up more than 2%, or gosh, I gotta turn this thing off. All right, it gapped up more than 2%. Nope, turn off. All right. And it gapped up more than 2% or so, then we want to identify that as being a significant swing low. So what I'm going to do, or area of liquidity, if you will. All right, so what I'm going to do is, this is ultimately what I came up with. Okay, so it's this guy here. And we'll clean it up a bit, but essentially wanted to show you what it's doing. All right, so this is a 15-minute time frame, and it's pretty much just like plotting these significant swing lows. Well, why did it do that one? Actually, maybe I have to adjust the script a little bit. Maybe I'll do it now or later. But so what we're looking for is if we have a swing low and then we have a subsequent swing high above that, and that gapped more than, say, 2%. If you look at that, I'm just moving. Moving objects here. Yeah, that one there. If it gapped up more than, say, 2%, that one was 1.39%, or maybe a little bit more than that. I stopped a little bit short, but I think I set the script up so that you'll get these yellow dots if the gap up was at least that much. And then not only will you get the yellow dots where it confirms that you have a gap up by that much, and then you're measuring that distance, but then you also get this script here that shows up, that label that shows up as saying swing low. But this one here, I don't think should have shown up. I set it to be a 1.5% change. So from here up to here, that looks like that's less than 1.5%. But I don't know, it gapped down a lot, or it moved down a lot. That's 0.34%. That one shouldn't have showed up. So I've got to figure out what I did, because again, I did this fairly quick this morning. But this is essentially what it says. All right, so we're taking the swing high, which is confirmed by having a high and having this many bars on either side of it. So four bars on either side of it, and a swing low with 4 bars on either side of that pivot. And then we are assigning swing high if it's greater than 0. So we do have a value, and that level is going to be assigned to high L. Okay. And if it's less than 0, then high L is going to be assigned to the high L before it, which just essentially just holds our previous spot until we find a new swing high. All right, so down here, we're saying that if we have, well, this actually will always be above 0. So this one should not. Well, it won't always be above 0, but on the first bar or so, it may not be above 0. But essentially, we had to say this first, because we're using swing LOL, the swing low level. We're using that as the denominator. And so anytime you have something that's the denominator, it needs to be 0 in TradeStation, otherwise it won't compute. And so if the swing low level is greater than 0, then we want to begin all this. So essentially we're saying the high level minus the low level, your difference, and then you're going to put that over top of your low level, which will give you a the fraction. You're going to multiply that by 100, which you get the percent. And then we're saying if that's over 1.5, so essentially that's our percentage gain. So if that swing low to the swing high is greater than a 1.5% move, then we're going to begin. We're going to plot the high as the yellow, and then we're also going to start a count. And we're starting this count so that we can help to identify how many bars back, the said event happened. So, and also so that we can start new counters when we encounter it again. So under here, we reset the count. I'm gonna get rid of all this because this is part of our template, so we don't need all this. Yeah, so if we have a new swing low level, then we're gonna restart the count low, and then if we have a new high level, then we're gonna reset that count high. But let me see, I wonder why I'm getting this one to show up. Because we have a swing low level, we have a swing high level, we're taking the high minus the low and we're putting it over the low level, multiplying it by 100. I don't know if this is necessary, but I don't think it is. But we're gonna put this here in parentheses, just so we know that it's this that we're comparing to 1.5. Okay, so that didn't do it. All right, so if that move is greater than 1.5, something tells me that because technically these yellows, if this was accurate, these yellows would have appeared over here when that calculation was done. So this calculation happens anytime the swing low level is greater than 0. Yeah, that's what we need to adjust. We need to say if, well, technically if there's a new swing high, because, well, that would count a lot of stuff out. What I'm trying to say is if we have a new swing high, then the chart is moving up, but it doesn't necessarily need to be a swing high. I mean, it needs to be a swing high, but it doesn't necessarily need to be a swing high higher than the one before it, which this is. So what I'm saying is, I think the way that I'm trying to code it is that there needs to be a new swing high to come up here. Swing low down here, swing high to come up here, and then you got a 2% move. Whereas here, we have a swing high and a lower swing high, but even if it came here, I think that would still be, maybe not. Maybe you would, well, this is getting into something else. This is getting into, different logic, but if it's after an immediate move down, then we probably don't want to use that move. I mean, technically we need to do another study reverse of this one, right? So that we can find our swing highs, our significant swing highs. But yeah, for right now, I wanted to show that move there. But like I said, this is taking this swing high level and it's subtract. Yeah, that's what it's doing. It's holding on to this swing high level because that's the only one that it has at this point here. That's the only one that it has, right? So I need for it to compute when there's a new swing high level. Doesn't have to be a swing high. Doesn't have to be a swing high higher than the one before it. It just needs to be a new swing high. So if swing low is greater than 0 and swing high is different from swing high a bar ago, then all right, set not verified. Closed out the wrong one. Then if swing high is greater, no, it needs to be swing high level. High level. Boom. Okay, good. So it did it, got rid of those. Now let's see if we have those other ones that were significant. Got a yellow dot there, so we should have gotten writing down here. And we definitely should have that one there. Okay, and there's the yellow. There's the yellow. We should have got one right there. But we didn't change. If we got the yellow, then we should have gotten the text as well. Is it hidden in here somewhere? No, it's not. So if we got that, then that begin plot that count is greater than 2. Some reason. Okay, count is counting the bars after. Count begins counting the bars once we find this to be true. And we found that to be true, so we made this yellow. Okay, so I just need to take this out. Take the count part out of this whole function. And put it down here. Okay. What? Okay, so on that next bar, count will be 2. If begin, then we have a begin. We got n, count plus the 1. So if count is 2, then value 8. Value 8. Take time. Do that? Okay, I did count. Wait a minute. I didn't add to my count. Okay, so we need to, because like I said before, anytime you're using a counter, you need to make sure that you are aware of where it's counting at. So it's counting in here. No, we don't want it to count in there. We want it to start in there and then okay. So instead of counting up here, we only want to start counting if we already have, so within finding that this logic to be true, we're going to initiate counting. Once we initiate counting within that condition, or we can say the condition is true, whatever, then we're going to count outside the function. Okay, so count plus 1 plus equals 1 there. Otherwise, count was 0. So once we add 1 to it, now we're going to start counting. So we're going to say if count is greater than or equal to 1, then count plus 1. Okay. And then we won't necessarily come right back into here because we won't have a new swing high, right? And we can only come back into here if we have a new swing high from the bar ago. All right, so then after we add another one here, now count becomes 2 on that, that second bar. Okay, so then we'll verify that. That's it, though. Count plus equals 1. Oh, well. Got to figure out how to get around this one. Pretty simple. Okay, so this is what we have going on. If we have a new swing high, we're going to start a count plus 1. Fine, we're going to initiate that. Okay, but now when we cut, and if we get on that second bar, then we want to print that text. But in order to get to that second bar, we have to go through another iteration. We have to go to another bar. Once we initiated that count, then we're going to add, and it's greater than or equal to 0, then we're going to add 1 to it. But guess what? Once we initiated that count, as we come down our script, before it goes to the next bar, it's got to do these two. And it found out that swing high level is different than swing high level before it, which is that same bar that we're on. So it goes ahead and resets that count to 0 anyway. So how do we keep that from happening before we get to bar 2? Well, simple. Just reset count to 0 when you get to bar 3. Because you won't need, that's the only reason why you're using the count for this one. We're not using the count for anything else. See, we're using count L here. We have different counts for different things, but for this, we just remove that. If count equals 3, then count equals 0. Bam. All right. Yeah, we'll figure it out eventually. We'll figure it out. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. All right, so now we have that swing low pop up on our screen. And so anywhere that we have that move, that move from a swing low to a swing high greater than 1.5%, we'll get this swing low pop up on our chart. And that swing low level there, the swing low level here is this guy. Right, so it was respected right down there. Not seeing any other swing levels except for here. So what happens when the chart returns here, in a couple days or a week or so? I don't know, but it may be a area for at least a potential reversal, even if it's short term. And again, we're on the 15-minute time frame. So where else did we get any other swing lows? We got it here, and we got it here. And again, these are based on the condition, the logic that there was a significant move up from that swing low to that swing high. I wonder what that looks like on the daily chart. And obviously on the daily chart, On the daily chart, there's different moves, right? So there's a different amount of volatility. The range is different, right? So instead of having that same kind of range as 1.5, you probably need to change it. Okay. All right, that thing is moving on up. Are we into new all-time highs? Yet. Not quite. But it's working on it. I mean, you know, of course it's trying to gap up too. Ooh. This is an interesting time for the market. This is an interesting time indeed. All right, but I gotta go here in a minute. Let's just clean this up a little bit. So we want to be able to change the range, the market move. So let's use an input for that. We're going to say input is just call it market move. Okay. Market move is going to be this value here. All right, and then market move. Okay, and we don't want to plot that blue. We don't want to plot this red, blue, and yellow candle every time because we don't need it. I mean, we're pretty much looking for the text swing low to pop up on there. So that is the blue and the red are these. So if show, we'll call it show pivots equals true, then 5 and 6 end. Need to put a begin here. Okay, and then we'll go back up here and we'll put show pivots. I've really got to get another microphone. I've got to get a microphone stand or something like that because having to look around the microphone is chews up a little bit of my efficiency. Market move is going to be start off is going to be true. That display pivots. True, false. And if any of you guys want this script, just let me know. Put a note in the comments and I'll send it to you. All right. Show market moves. True. Show market move. Show market move. I've got that as show pivots. That on there twice. I got rid of something. Market move. Show pivots. Market move. Show pivots. Okay. Show pivots is true than that. Okay. Verify, shouldn't have any issues. Okay, so now we can come over here. We can double click on our study, go to inputs, display pivots. We'll put false. Those two are fine. We're going to get rid of those though. We don't need them. All right, so that got rid of that, but we also want to get rid of the yellow pivots as well. I mean, I don't know. It's good for visualization though, but let's get rid of it. Begin, then if show pivots equals true, then plot that, verify, and I got rid of them. All right, now we need to do two more things. We need to, all right, I'm not sure what this would come up as. Not sure what, for the daily time frame, what would the swing would need to be. The market move set to 0. All right, we're gonna set that to 5%. 5% move. I don't know if that's meaningful. All right, 5% is not enough. It's not high enough. 10%. I feel like it's missing the concept here at this point. Okay, no, it's steadily getting rid of them. So, yeah, maybe 15% is the mark for the weekly. But this is the weekly. And they're a little bit off center because I set these up pretty much for an intraday chart. So like I said, the where this is plotted, where the text is plotted, is based on that same date. So actually, it should clean it up if I do count L plus swing low. Should clean that up if I put that for the date. Count 1L. Okay, yeah, so that cleaned it up. That moved it to the proper date, which, like I said, I typically do intraday, so that's not a point of concern. All right, so those are significant swing lows. Good. All right, so and again, we can change that from the actual chart instead of always coming back to the script. Don't need those. Don't need value 1. We do need the bars. I think I used the bars. Don't think I used the bars. So we can get rid of that. Just trying to clean it up because if anybody has seen some of my videos, like as I'm scripting and that kind of thing, I'll have all kind of comments. I'll have all kinds of things on the chart, and then I don't really clean it up there afterwards. I don't put extra comments in to let you know what's going on. None of that. So for reference, for me going back to it, I should really do that. From significant move, then color. I'm gonna see if I can freeze that text because it's moving. When I click on it, it moves. So I don't know what text float is. Does that mean that it floats so that it can move? Maintains the location of a text object at a fixed number of bars back from the last bar on the chart. Ooh, okay. Fixed percentage between the chart's lowest. Okay, so that will allow whatever you want to be on the screen. It'll just let it stay on the screen. As the chart goes, that information will just stay on the screen, which I can see a use for it. You know, I use objects and I'll plot text on the chart. It's essentially the same thing to float, but as I understand, this like text float is what do they call it? It's a legacy version of applying text, whereas the most recent version is using like objects and classes to apply your text. So, but text float isn't going to solve this problem. Text. All right, I'm about to get off of here, but I need to know if I can lock this text. I know I can with the drawing object, but I don't know otherwise. Let's see what else comes up when we type text. Text. Delete exist. What does text exist? Float ex. Get style, new, set color, set location. I imagine set location is setting the location and not like fixing the location. Fixing it. Get value, get string, get style, get date, get active, get active. Float X. What is that? Text exists. Float X. All right. Series function creates and maintains the position where text out few number of bars back. Yeah, so it's kind of the same thing, but looks like it's using the XY position rather than like the chart percentage from top to bottom scaling. So again, a similar function to float, which I guess we could expect that. Okay, the only other one I could see would be get time, set location. But again, I think this is going to change the location. Yeah. There's a specific bar, price on the chart. This is reserved where it modifies the point at which is specified text object. Modifies the point at which is specified. It just modifies it. It doesn't lock it. Okay, so again, probably need to use an object class to set that and lock it. But I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, all right, so that's that. And then let's go back to the 15-minute time frame. And then when we go back to the 15-minute time frame, of course, we need to adjust our... You know what? Because I just learned the other day that you can get the time frame. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna come back on later for my night class, and we'll do a case. I've done a case switch once before, but I can just use an if-then statement, but I could also use case switch. And so if the if the interval is say 5 minutes, then we can say that we wouldn't be able to change it. So this is what I was thinking. If the interval is 5 minutes, then it would change the market move percentage to 1.5. And if the interval became, a daily chart or hour chart, then it would move that interval, that gap, that market move amount to say 15%. And you could do that within the script. However, if you have an input, which comes up here, if you have an input on your screen that you want to be able to change from this part of the chart settings, if you want to be able to customize it, then you can't then also change it within the script. It's got to be whatever it is here. So we couldn't use case switch if we also wanted to change it. And I think we need to be able to change it because, oh man, this is where it gets juicy. This is where it gets juicy. This is where the skills of my mind is like, oh man, there's so many possibilities, because we could get the symbol, and if the symbol equals at ES or at NQ, and the bar interval equals 5 minutes, then we're going to change the gap to 1.5%. But if the symbol is if the symbol is Tesla and the minutes or the bar interval is 5 minutes, then it's going to change it to 16%. We could do that all within the script. And then so when we apply the script to the chart, it'll already know what's going on, and we won't have to keep changing things. But that only makes sense when you do this. That only makes sense when you do this. When you have data that shows you what is most likely to happen on what chart. And so this is what I was working on yesterday. I said we're going to talk about it yesterday, or maybe today. I don't know. But like I said, 2 days ago, I showed you how to use an array and everything. Not even using an array, but just using historical data, do a printout, and then print to file. And once you print to file, it'll print you all of your all the information that you're looking for. So I think I set this for like 2 years back, and I looked for all the bullish moves, all the bull candles that were greater than, greater than so many times the range, right? And so then I asked for the time of it. I asked for the range of that bull, and then of the candle just before it, I asked for the open, high, low, close, the range of that setup candle, the pre-bull, the range of 7 candles, including that pre-bull, the average. And then also I was able to, I didn't realize that you could find bar interval. So you can, for your script, you can say, what is the bar interval? So for that specific chart that you have opened, you can ask for it to essentially get the interval. And then if you're on the 5 minute time frame, then it'll say 5, right? So that's so cool. And then also you can ask for the symbol. So I asked what the symbol was for the chart I was on, and it was NQ. So I think I have a script set up, and I have a workspace set up where it shows where I'm like calling for all that data. Okay, so get this out of here, get this out of here. Is this the one? Yeah, but I think I have it called something else. I think it was just pre-bull at NQ. All right. And as I run that script is going to print to my, and you know what? I don't know if it prints to the print log or if it prints to just the file. And so I was playing around with some of the data that I scrubbed, and the data that I scrubbed suggested that, these are the size bulls and the conditions that you might want to put for your pre-bull, your candle before your bull. All right. And so the green one seems to work better than the blue one, but both of them came from NQ. The blue one almost seemed to work for for resistance, but look how those green ones are like truly at least initiating a move up. And again, are you talking short term, long term? Do you then couple this with the other strategy that I just put together to actually look for, the swing lows, and then get that swing low along with the confirmation of that green candle? Or do you just enter that green candle? Yeah, so just working with more data. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is, I think I have on my desktop, maybe, here's the pre-bull. Okay, and then it pulls up this. but it should pull it up for, was I on NQ? Yeah. So once I type in ES, it should print it for ES also. Okay, so now it should print it for ES. So I should be able to go back here. And this is what it was doing yesterday anyway. I could just, yeah, just tap that and then everything comes up for ES. And you notice the other day when I did it, I had to, well, first of all, it seemed to take a little bit of time, but then I had to go to the print log. I had to copy it, and then I had to move it and everything like that. Now it's just all right here. Just come to this file, hit Control All, copy, and then I move it over into Excel. Do this one. We'll make a new sheet. This will be ES, and I think it was 2 years. Okay, we come here, and I think we're going to put it here. Hit paste. Go down here. Text import. That limited. I'll use a comma. Next, finish is going to be 1, 2. Go down through here. Then we're going to dot that. And then we're going to do item. And this is the strategy. So we should just be able to copy what we had on the other one. All right, but I got to get out of here. Looks like I'm being called upon. All right, go to ES. Paste that there. And I know I added something. I think I added the script. I had the name along with the script. So now I have the ticker. So I added that. All right, we're gonna select all that, and then we're gonna do insert table. Okay, boom. We have everything we need. Now we're gonna come back down up to the end, and then we're going to do averages of these, averages of this, like so. Auto sum average. Then I can go and make my charts as well. I like to freeze that top. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Come on. Freeze pane, freeze top row. Okay. Then when you scroll down, it keeps all that. And then, like I said, you can go in here and you can say, all right, is that bar before it a bear or is it a bull? Ah! Now we're just looking for all the bulls. And all the bulls, the range typically tends to be that. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. That's it for this morning. This was probably longer than I thought it was going to be, but again, we're working smarter now. We're working smarter, and it's not necessarily easier. It's just learning one additional thing at a time, and we're gonna make it work for us. Work smarter, not harder. Uh-oh, you lost me. I lost you. All right, I don't know how much that you missed because I didn't have the screen pulled up, so hopefully you got everything that I was showing you about Excel. If you didn't, and you need me to run back over it, then sure thing, let me know. Put a comment down, and then we'll run over whatever you need to. Or if you have an idea for a strategy that you want me to code, give me a shot. You know, let's give it a go and see what we get. All right, guys, I am Eric. I'm out. Peace.